Welcome to the Wrench Ramble Show with your host, Sean Kirk.
Hey, Sean, how are you doing tonight?
Just as good as I was 10 minutes ago when he asked me.
All right. Well, should we hang out here a little bit and wait and see if we have any of the guys pop on first?
Yeah, so I'm just reading the news here. They said that the government shutdown might be coming to an end. So what do you think about that? It didn't really give any specifics. Do you think Republicans caved or Democrats caved, or what do you think happened?
I have no idea. Well, I knew the Republicans were introducing something new tonight, and I don't know what it was, but let me pop it up here and see.
Because any time when you agree on stuff that you're philosophically in opposite ends of the spectrum, it never goes in favor of the Republicans.
Right. I don't think anybody wins on this one. I think people have had enough of it, and they're just kind of like, fed up with it.
But has anything affected your life in the last 40 days? Has anything been different for you personally?
Oh, the only thing is briefly when we went to Mount Rushmore, we wanted to go in and see the more information on Mount Rushmore. We couldn't do that, but we did get to go into the park. That didn't stop us, but that's the only thing. And I think it's more of, well, I really don't know. This shutdown didn't seem like shutdowns in the past.
Like, I think our military should get paid. Like, I've always thought that there needs to be something written where that's completely off the table for being held hostage. Like, it shouldn't even be something that has to be negotiated. It just should be a given. Mm-hmm. And then everything else, honestly, didn't affect my life at all. Don't really care about it. My life is not different from one day to the next. I don't notice any difference.
Well, yeah, and I noticed that it does say that they managed to shut down, or they managed to vote on the Senate. The Senate voted, so that's done. So now, do they have to go to the House? I think.
Yeah, they would both have to sign off on it, unless it's the same exact deal that they had before, without changes. Which I don't know why the Democrats would flip without changes, because what I'm reading is there's no Obamacare subsidies, no money for illegals, no carve-outs, nothing. So it appears that it's the original thing, which that is completely shocking. If it's the original thing, then why did we wait 40 days to do it?
Yeah, I don't know.
If nothing has changed, all they were using it was a manipulation tool to try to get more votes during the election that we just had.
Right, and I think that's yes, but I also think that well, I'm reading on Schumer's taking a lot of heat because I guess there's some Dems that are caving.
Well, he's screwed either way because AOC wants the Senate seat. So,
right.
I mean, he's on borrowed time right there for his job, because it's just a matter of time before somebody gives him the boot.
Mm-hmm.
So this was his Hail Mary. Hey, I'm going to go after big bad Trump, and look at me. And it didn't really play out as he thought it would.
Right. See if what is status? Government shutdown. So the senators reach deal. And it still needs to clear the House, which is going to likely take days, it says, according to NBC. So it's not yet, but
if most people aren't noticing anything different in their life, then how can you possibly make the case that that stuff is so vital that we should still continue to do it on all these different things?
right. Well, it would be interesting to, like, okay, so who is being impacted by? Yeah, I wonder how the stamp benefits, too, like the assistance benefits and stuff like that. What's happening with that?
So apparently there was 40 million people on food stamps. So I don't think anybody has a problem with somebody that's really disabled. I mean, like actually disabled, not because you're fat and you couldn't control yourself and now you're disabled because you're fat. But I mean, like somebody that's disabled, has a disability, they have a limb that they had amputated, something like that. Nobody has a problem with them getting food stamps. If you're elderly, I don't think anybody has a problem with them getting food stamps. Now, what percentage of that makes up the 40 million? I don't know. But you know as well as I do, there's a lot of people getting that stuff that shouldn't be getting it. And, we're working hard to put food on the table for our families and roof over our heads. And yet we got to foot the bill for other people too. That doesn't really equate very well in my head, especially 40 million people. That's a pretty big number when we got 300 some million people in America. You're over 10% of the population is getting food assistance plus whatever other assistance they're getting too.
Yeah, well, I do know that like Iowa stepped up, and so I think everybody that is getting it in Iowa is still getting it. And then it says 670,000 federal workers have been furloughed and sent home without pay, and roughly 730,000 are working without pay during the shutdown. But the big thing is that this weekend is kind of 10% reduction in the air traffic volume because they're shutting down the controllers. So that I think that's making a huge difference right now, and that could be the big reason for the new vote. So
maybe the air traffic controllers, but like, is anybody going to be sad that there would be less TSA, groping you, fondling you, and opening up your underwear bag? You know what I mean? Seriously, we're profiling 90-year-old ladies like, hey, Velma, step out of line. Let me fondle you up your skirt and dig in your bag. It's like, really? Velma's carrying a bomb on her. Come on now. It's like, no, we don't need to do that. That's unnecessary.
But they're canceling flights. And so people are like missing flights, layovers, and so on with that.
Honestly, I think what they do, and that's with all these government organizations, they pick the most painful thing to try to inflict on the people. And that's why they do it. So that way everybody's like, oh, no, I don't want air traffic controllers shut down because then I miss my flight. But they could take money out of that budget and cut off all these other positions that they really don't need, but they won't do that. They want to inflict as much things because if you ever talk about like local funding and stuff, if you're like, hey, we need to stop raising property taxes, the first thing they're going to say is, you don't want police officers and firefighters? I mean, it's like, no, we didn't need that $5 million bike trail through the middle of the forest that 3 people use. That's what I'm talking about. They don't want to cut that. They want to cut the stuff that's going to inflict the most punishment on people. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. But yeah, it's been more of a charade than anything. So
BC, is Canada taking any impact from the U.S. government shutdown? give them a moment to respond here.
I guess if you're taking a flight into the United States and there's less air traffic controllers, I mean, that would be something. But how significant is that stuff?
1,500 flights canceled, 6,700 delayed. Impact on travelers and freight.
So he said tariffs. Yeah, that's a whole nother big deal besides what we're dealing with on the government shutdown. Yeah, the tariffs are stupid.
Yep, let's talk about that.
They're just really stupid. So if you guys didn't know, this week Steel jacked up their price on a lot of chainsaws, trimmers, a bunch of other stuff. So I'll make a video this week and go over that stuff. I'll show you year by year how this stuff has gone up. So they blamed this solely on the tariffs. And what they did is they said that they're going to raise it. I'm guessing here is like 7 or 8% on most of that stuff. So some of those chainsaws are going up like $200 a piece. And then they said on top of that, well, we're not going to inflict as much punishment on the customer, so we're going to make this a joint problem. So we're going to cut your margin on the product. So now they're wanting to take our margin down because of it and pay us less than what we've made for all these years and raise the price on the consumer so they can squeeze both of us and screw both of us at the same time. So it's making it where it's nearly impossible to turn a profit selling their products anymore because number one, I'm not making the money. And number two, customers aren't spending the money because they don't want to pay these overinflated prices. So they're either holding on to what they have or they're jumping ship, going to Husqvarna, going to Echo, some of these other brands out there. So the tariffs are a really dumb thing. They're really dumb. I don't think they're accomplishing what the media and everybody's telling us they're doing. Yes, there's money coming in, but that's coming out of American consumers' pockets. It's not coming from the countries of origin.
Okay, so I'm going to jump back in and live in the dream. Thanks for the question there. Yeah, the air traffic controllers are federal positions. They are not working directly for the airlines. It's a government job. And that's always been that way. And so, getting back to tariffs, the tariffs are impacting absolutely everything. And I understand that money is going directly into deficit pay down, that's a good thing. But like when you're doing estates and you're moving money around into people who have they're hardworking or lower income people, those tariffs are really hitting hard on those people, and that's the discretionary income that they have that they aren't spending, and even they aren't even buying the cheap stuff right now. We've really noticed in my business and the things that I do, I've noticed a huge hit this year on people spending money. It's just really, really dried up.
You mean you're not excited about Trump giving you $2,000 for the tariffs? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. And you know what?
So $2,000, they've devalued your money so much, it's lost like 20% of its spending power in the last 5 years. So to give you $2,000 is a slap in the face, because you know what? It costs you probably $10 or $15 or $20,000 in less spending ability with that money, because they devalued the currency so much that $2,000 doesn't even begin to cover what they've screwed us out of. That's, if you math it out, it's like, it's ridiculous. And all these people that are just living paycheck to paycheck, taking 20% out of their spending power, that's insane.
Well, seriously, the bottom line is, if they cut checks, the people that get it, that will make my income go. There'll be a rush on that, because they'll go out and they'll spend that money. People will just spend that money. They won't put it away. They won't put it back to where it should be, and they won't put it towards bills. They'll just like, oh, I got extra money, and they'll go spend it even though they don't have it. So
Yeah, and that's true up until they've spent the $2,000. Then
right.
that money's gone, and then we're back in the same position we were because they're not in any better financial position to do anything different.
Yep.
So it's a temporary bump, and I guess you got to squeeze as much out of that bump as you can when you get it because you know it's not going to be there.
Yeah. So living the dream. Why has it always been that way? Well, air traffic has always been considered a federal or national responsibility, and I guess it was the FAA was established in 1958 after there was several mid-air collisions, and Congress put that together to regulate air travel across state and national borders. And so it's all controlled by the federal government for that reason. And also national security as well is what they say. NORAD and other defense systems are tied to the air traffic control as well.
Living the Dream asked a question about the steel chainsaws in Germany. So they do make the 311, the 391. Most all of the Pro Series saws are made in Germany. The rest of the stuff, mostly your consumers, your farm and ranch stuff, that's going to be made in Virginia Beach. So that stuff, a lot of the homeowner, consumer, farm and ranch saws didn't go up because of the tariffs this time. It was mainly the Pro Series stuff and the 2 farm and ranch series saws that I said. But the last price increase they had in July, they specifically tied that stuff to the tariffs too, even though they weren't made overseas. They're made in Virginia Beach. And there was a lot of products that have Made in America stamped on them that they raised trying to justify because of the tariffs, which I thought was a load of crap because even if some of the components and stuff are made overseas, I mean, when you have your manufacturing base here and you have everything put together here in Virginia Beach, a lot of that cost is in the state, so it wouldn't be subject to tariffs. So I don't know why there was such a significant price increase on stuff that was made in America because the components don't equate to what they raised the price. Does that make sense? I guess they were grabbing for more than what they should have been doing is what I'm saying. And of course we just have to take it because we don't have any other choice.
All right. Should we jump in?
Yeah, last question. The chain itself, I believe that stuff's all in Switzerland where that stuff's made. So, yeah, that would all be subject to whatever the tariff rate is. I haven't followed too closely on every country, but I assume that's still at a 10%, Kirk, unless you've heard something otherwise, most of the European countries.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. You want to answer that, John?
Point on the chain is raised a huge amount. Yeah, it is. It's all shipped from, Switzerland, more than likely. Everything that I've seen, if you look at the boxes of the chain, it'll say Swiss made on it. So I haven't seen anything that steel has produced counter to that. But I mean, like Oregon chain, some of that stuff's made in the United States, some's made in China, I think. Husqvarna is the same way. Most of their stuff's United States. I don't know where else it's made, but I mean, they didn't raise their stuff like steel did. So if there's tariff implications for their company, they absorbed it or found a way to maintain the prices. Where steel just said, we're gonna give it to you hard. So that's what they did.
Yeah. Hey, going back to I pulled up a little bit more information. Air traffic control, they did attempt to privatize that in the 90s, and then in around 2010s, it says several administrations floated the idea of creating a private nonprofit air traffic corporation, similar to Canada's model. And says the critics argued privatization could jeopardize safety, oversight, and access for smaller regional airports, so Congress never approved it. Air traffic control remains fully federal, funded through the Airport and Airway Trust Fund and annual appropriations, which is why current government shutdowns affect them directly.
There you have it.
Okay, so let's hit, let me see here. How about Tool of the Day?
It's that time for Tool of the Day.
I just told you to hop for no reason.
It's not gonna work again, though.
It'll work.
The same problem.
It'll work. Watch your head.
He's gonna hit his head.
Watch your head.
No.
Oh boy!
I can't breathe. Just have
That is not ideal.
Don't laugh, dude. I think he's okay. Dude, they saw that coming from a mile away. Cutty, just go in the house. Yo. Refilling.
The whole thing.
You got it. You got it.
I watched that several times. I just bust out laughing because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why is the guy pushing the garage door button? He's not going to make it. He doesn't look like Superman there. Like, I remember doing that when I was a kid before the sensors were at the bottom of the door. And, we would do like a baseball dive on the concrete and roll out the door right before it closed. But there is no way you were hopping over those safety things. And man, he got drilled bad.
I've done that a ton of times and, not hit my head on it, but I mean.
Is that how you lost your hair?
Yeah, I just skimmed it. But you know what? I tell you what.
I just told you to hop for no reason.
It's not gonna work again, though.
It'll work.
The same problem.
It'll work.
It gets funnier the more you watch it.
Watch your head.
No.
Oh boy!
I can't breathe. Just have
That is not ideal.
Don't laugh, dude. I think he's okay. Dude, they saw that coming from a mile away. Cutty, just go in the house. Yo. Refilling.
The whole thing.
And they're doing what any good friend would do. Laugh at you.
What's that?
I said they're doing what any good friend would do, is laugh at you. Nobody
Right,
asked him if he was okay. They just started laughing.
Who wouldn't? I mean, that's great. That's just absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I love that one.
So that's why he's our tool of the day.
We need more of those. Oh, gosh. All right. All right. Let's see. What do we got next here? Featured product.
Now for today's featured product.
Oh, wow. You know what? I didn't even have it ready here. I guess I missed that one. A little bit slow on the take today.
Yeah, living the dream. Ask me about your 066. I'll see if I can answer it. I don't have a lot of experience with the 66. I did a lot of 64s recently, but they're all going to be pretty much similar issues. So just throw it at me. I'll see if I can answer it for you.
Oh, here.
Might be a while for Kirk to figure out the videos. So if you got a bunch of questions, go ahead and ask them.
I can only upload 10 at a time. So, okay. Here we go.
Can you get me some ranch?
Ranch?
Yeah, I want ranch with my curly fries.
I'll give you some ranch.
Thank you.
No problem.
You're the best. I want more than that. Yeah. Thank you.
I know you go to Chick-fil-A. What do you think about Chick-fil-A putting these?
That would be funny. You know what? I can't eat Chick-fil-A anymore. Literally, I upsets my stomach, and so there's something in what they have, and
You probably got peanut allergies. They cook it in peanut oil.
Oh no, I don't
'Cause
have peanut allergies.
You might. Unless you're getting the grilled stuff. You probably don't eat healthy. You probably don't get the grilled stuff. Try to get the fried stuff. But yeah, that's peanut oil.
You know, this peanut allergy crap, I tell you, I mean, it's like, I don't know where it came from. When I went to school, everybody had peanut butter. There was nobody had peanut allergies for anything. That didn't exist.
Well, you know what? Now they have a table for the gluten-free kids. They got the vegan kids. They got the peanut allergies. They got the seed oil allergies. They've got the, whatever booger picker allergies. They got something for everybody. Everybody's got a table now. So yeah.
Yeah.
The poor kids. There's this one kid at my kid's school, man. We're at some meeting for a project or whatever, and then the mom was asking about the food, and they're like, yeah, we'll make sure it doesn't have any nut allergies and stuff. She's like, well, he's gluten-free, and he's this, and he's this, and he's this. And I'm like, good Lord, what does the kid eat? Does he literally just, have a sucker and a glass of milk? Like, oh, he can't have milk. It's lactose intolerant, too. So he just has water and a sucker.
Living the Dream's got a question for you there.
Magnesium. So magnesium is one of those things that's very, very hard to weld. If you take it to a shop that does welding, that knows what they're doing, they might be able to fix that for you. You're not going to take it to the next door neighbor that, tinkers around in his garage that, thinks he can fix it. You're not going to take it to them. You're going to take it to an actual machine shop that does this stuff for a living. And then I would call them and ask them about specifically magnesium ahead of time. They should be able to weld it if they're familiar with welding stuff like that. If all they do all day is weld stuff, they should be able to fix it. But don't go to your next door neighbor or Joe's, auto shop around the corner and stuff like that, because, they might have the best intentions and might try. It's a very niche market on people that can do that and do it well. So just keep that in mind. But I would always ask them ahead of time specifically if they're comfortable welding magnesium. I've never done it. Never really had the need to, because most of the stuff, the customers, it's a saw. They don't want to split the case and put a new case half on, and they don't want to spend the money on it. But that's what I would do. So, yeah, sometimes you can find part saws too. eBay is a good source of stuff. There's a lot of times where people will put on, crankcases and stuff on there, stripped of all the other parts. They've scabbed those off for other stuff, but I would go in there. Sometimes you can find that stuff relatively cheap. You might be able to pick one up for 40 or 50 bucks, and the crankshaft's good and the crankcase is good, and then you can just transfer all your parts over from your other saw. That's an option as well. So nothing wrong with doing that. But on those older saws, I mean, that magnesium starts to rot after a while. If you notice on some of that stuff, it'll just pit really bad and get brittle and fall apart. So just, ask around on the welding. Just make sure it's somebody that's confident they can weld a magnesium. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? All right, now we got through Kirk's intermission break. Now we can play the rest of the videos.
All right. Let me see here. Hey, Jeff. Hope you're having a great night.
Yeah, and there are different models for a lot of those O series saws too. If you guys watched that 011 saw that I did, there's actually like 3 or 4 versions of that saw, so you got to make sure you're getting the right one, because even some of the slight variations, the parts are not interchangeable for the most part. I mean, the obvious stuff would be like carburetors and stuff like that, but some of that other stuff won't be. So just look. If it's a red lever, usually the red levers are all going to be the same run. So just keep that in mind.
All right. I told Sean that there was not going to be a Kirk's Car moment, but guess what?
Today's episode of Kirk's Car Corner.
All right. I saw this the other day, and this thing is just super cool. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Chip Foose or not, but he built this Lincoln, and this is just an awesome car here. And check this thing out.
Most expensive car in the whole world. Rolls-Royce Jag, nothing was more expensive than this in 1956.
And they lost money building it.
Yes. Let me ask you this. I want to talk about this car. I see so many of the little accents and details. And why build this when you could have picked any car you wanted?
Well, this isn't for me.
Okay.
This is one of my customers' cars.
Okay.
And Pat and Linda Velasco.
Okay.
This car is out at SEMA, and I mean, the detail that he does on this car, he like shaves the bumpers down, totally modify this Lincoln, and it's 1956 Lincoln Continental. This thing is so cool. It has in the engine compartment, you can see how it has all the satin paint there, and he just offset the tone on the color on the engine itself. It's dumped a Chevy motor in the Lincoln.
It's so nice you wouldn't want to even drive it.
No, you know, it's cool. The guy had 3 Lincoln Continentals, and two of them were used for parts cars. So this car was a parts car for the original Lincoln Continental. And so the owner gave it to Chip Foose and said, hey, build me a custom car. And the underneath of the car is satin painted like that as well. This is going on out in Vegas right now. But, I mean, just unbelievable. Look at that. I don't know if they get into the chair. Oh, yeah.
So which guy is Chip? The one in the orange shirt or the other?
Yeah, he is. He is. He used to have the show called Overhauling. And he's pointing out on the corners that the hood comes up in the way the fender rolls. If they were off a little bit, the hood would hit the side of the fender. So Chip rolled the hood a little bit so it curves up so it won't hit that. And I'm wondering if they look in the gauges. The gauges in there are cool. I haven't done anything with Jaguar this week, but let's see if we get into the interior. I'd love to you see the gauges in the car there? Mm-hmm. I'd love to do gauges like that in my Jaguar. And they built the faces on there and then sent them out to a shop that did all the electronics in there. So, but yeah, Chip does awesome cars. I watched another one, and they had a Pontiac GTO that they're showing out to SEMA. I can't remember who the builder was, but it was, it was a nice car and everything, but it was like, it'd be like your daily driver car compared to what Chip Foose does with cars.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But the rear seats he put on, they were out of a Thunderbird, and then he molded it in, so it's a permanent roadster. But
how much does a car like that cost?
I bet you this guy probably paid Chip probably around $150,000 to build this car.
That's crazy.
And if he ran it at Barrett-Jackson, he would probably I would bet the car would probably bring that at Barrett-Jackson. So
Steering column, I made that chrome piece to finish it off, so you didn't see a big gap between the smaller diameter wheels and the column itself.
So, and now that instrumentation, man, that is beautiful.
Well,
who made that?
It's all stock, but I built the gauge faces.
Right.
And Shannon at Redline Gauges, he put all the numbers on it.
Okay.
And new mechanicals behind it.
Yeah. Now, so that's what the original gauge cluster would have looked like?
It was very similar to that.
Okay. Yeah.
But I made those faces.
Wow. Okay. And then what are we looking at? AC? What is this?
That's all the same factory parts. So we reshaped the rear wheel wells. And of course, the rear bumper is all tucked in, and we did the same thing. Cut that shorter, pulled it in. And then the biggest change on the whole body, other than the top being cut off, is this spare tire well.
Yeah.
I dropped it 3 inches because it's normally up here.
Yeah, bigger hump.
Much bigger, but Just wanted to, and then of course all the chassis to get the car sitting right.
Okay. Well, you know what? Again, I know that.
So those wheels on that car too, they kind of look like hubcaps. They're not. Those are one-off wheels that Chip did, and they actually, I don't know if they cut them out of a block of aluminum, but with border jets or how they do them, but they're one-off, a one-off set. So, anyways, just super cool. I love that car.
Yeah. Yeah, like that color is unique too. So it's sort of growing on me watching it.
It really is. Actually, it'd be kind of cool. I bet you I could get a wrap in that color and do my Jaguar in that color.
Yeah.
That would really look cool. That would be really different. And then when I did my interior, I could come in and do like a ivory or off-white and just do the whole interior.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like the brown gold color. I know that was big in the 80s and 90s, early 90s, but yeah, that's not
that's the factory original color, but if I rust them at it, I'm not, I'm just not going to go back. But yeah, living the dream. Yeah, I think that color is just incredible. So, all right, let's hit. See, we did breaking news, feature product, and here we go.
Time for today's Bible Minute.
Jesus, when Lucifer rebelled against God, when Satan decided he wanted to take over heaven. Here's the deal. The Bible shows us that Jesus was right there, in heaven, in all his power and glory. He wasn't surprised by Lucifer's rebellion. Let's look at some verses. John 1 verses 1-3 says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Through him all things were made." That's talking about Jesus. He's the Word. He was there in the beginning, even before Lucifer was created. Then in Colossians 1 verse 16, it says, "By him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible." So Jesus made Lucifer. He gave him his beauty, his role as an angel. Lucifer wasn't bad at first. He was perfect. But pride got him. Now check this out. When Lucifer rebelled, Jesus didn't have to fight him. In Luke 10 verse 18, Jesus said, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." Boom, just like that. God is all-powerful. Lucifer's rebellion didn't shake Jesus. It didn't change his plan. So where was Jesus? He was on the throne in full control. The rebellion didn't catch him off guard. It only proved what happens when pride takes over. Here's the takeaway. Jesus has always been in charge.
So yeah, that was a good illustration of pride right there. So I know every one of us deals with that, but I thought that was a good visual on everything, just Satan, that's why he fell, was because of the pride. He wanted to be better than God. He was the most beautiful angel there was and decided that wasn't good enough. So, I mean, it snags us all up on stuff. Sometimes we need to take a look in the mirror and humble ourselves a little bit.
I thought you did that clip for me.
Oh, for you? No.
Yeah.
Why? Because you look like Satan?
No, because he used to sit there and I remember back when I went through hard times and you were like sitting there telling me, "Oh, you got to swallow your pride," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I actually lost everything."
If you look at most people's sins, the number one sin is pride. People will be like, "Oh, it's cheating on your spouse, or it's doing substance abuse, or whatever it is." But no, it's actually pride, because pride leads into a lot of that stuff. And if you're humble about things and you're looking for the truth, it keeps you away from all those other sins.
Right.
But yeah, it's something. When we have pride, we have a lot of that pride. It's really hard to self-identify it. It really has to be pointed out by somebody else, because our blinders are on. We think we're doing everything right, but we're not. So that's just a little shot of humbleness today for everybody. So,
all right. So we'll do a little bit of this.
So I thought two things here. I thought, hey, that's pretty good. This handicapped guy is able to do stuff like anybody else. And then my second thought was, I wonder if that's how he lost his arms in the first place. You just don't know nowadays, do you? You gotta wonder, you know what I mean? Like, so here's a story about my Uncle Bill. My good old Uncle Bill, rest his soul. He had a table saw, and he was, I don't know, it's probably 10 or 15 years ago. He's cutting a board and pushing through with his hand, you know, and all of a sudden, he didn't have something to push the board through, took off the tip of his finger down to the first knuckle. So he lost that. And then moved down the road like 2 years later. He's doing the same thing on his table saw, pushing it through, takes off the second knuckle on the same finger. So all he had left was this little bitty stub right there because he kept trimming down his finger every time he would saw stuff on his table saw. He'd get enough gumption to go back to the table saw and try to do it again, bless his heart. And every time he'd take a little bit more of his finger. So I saw this video. Every time I see somebody with a saw, I think of my uncle. That's a memory I got forever.
He's got to be careful so he doesn't cut a toe off.
Yeah, I know. What happens if you slip once? I mean, you've seen those table saws, though, where, like, the smart table saws, like, that can sense if you put your finger in it or something and it shuts off. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, I wonder if they have stuff like that for stuff like the hand saws. Yeah, push stick. He used his finger, his digit, as his push stick.
He needed a toe guard.
And to this day, he searched his garage and he could not find the parts of the digit that were cut off. They just disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. You know, just ate them all up. Someday somebody's going to be cleaning out that table saw and part of a digit, a fingernail will fall out or something.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, poor Uncle Bill.
See here.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to cut yourself with the saws. I mean, they're unforgiving. You make one mistake, you're done.
Yeah. Okay. So let's what do we got next here?
I don't know. You're the master, the puppet master right there. What do you got? So I don't know where this is, but they have a restaurant. It's like a ride. It lifts you up in the air. I don't know how many stories that is. It looks like probably a couple 100 feet. And you get to eat up there on this chair suspended above the ground. So for anybody that doesn't like heights, me included, this would be terrifying. I wouldn't be able to eat anything. Would you go on something like that?
No, and I was thinking, is that Vegas that they do that, or
Living the Dream said Dubai?
Belgium. They do it in Belgium, and Brussels, Dubai, Las Vegas. Yeah, I saw that advertised in Las Vegas, but there was some place that they were doing one of those and a cable broke on it.
So yeah, when I was up at the Wisconsin Dells one time when I was a kid, you ever seen those slingshots where they have like the bench that two people sit on and then there's two big springs that go up and they stretch? Well, they were getting ready to launch. They shot off the smoke and they were counting down 3, 2, and one of those big things snapped and went right down.
Oh
they
my
were
God.
literally 1 second away from getting launched in the air by one of those things. So if you have 2 of those things, it's taking you up evenly and you're only going up so high. If you got one, you're going sideways and every which way straight up in the air. Like, those people were freaking out. I was freaking out when I saw it because, I mean, those things are like as big around as a baseball. Like, that's a lot of rubber bands.
Yeah, they take you 150 feet in the air on this.
Yeah, I was going to say. But there is no bathroom on board. If you need to go to the bathroom, you're pretty much stuck.
In Las Vegas, it's $290 per person for a 3-course meal. They do it in LA also on a pop-up, and they $400 for a 4-course or $700 for more upgrades.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not a fan. I can have a lot more fun with $700 than this.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Yeah,
He
so I had a
likes his
lawn care
job.
business. Yeah, I had a lawn care business before I did all this stuff, and I can just see the guys out there doing that when I was not around. It's like, why did it take so long? There's your reason why it took so long.
Yeah.
And I know exactly which guys probably would have been doing that too.
And attention to the difference in texture on each ball. NFL footballs are made of natural leather and each one is unique. We grade each ball individually before beginning the preparation process. Once we find the perfect ball, we brush it to activate the leather. Then we apply the first layer of oil to soften the leather and darken it. This also hydrates the leather. We really try to avoid the laces when possible and focus on each of the 4 panels of the ball. We let the ball sit for 10 to 15 minutes and repeat this process once more. Once finished with the oiling process, it's time to balm the football. Heating up the ball makes for a smoother application process. We then lather the ball with the balm and take it over to the power brush to brush in an even coat all over the 4 panels. This process also helps transform the ball from its original red color to the darker shade it is now. We then use the excess wax to fill in between the laces. After the balming process is finished, it's time to heat up the football. If you look closely, you can see the balm and oil absorbing into the leather. Then we apply leather conditioner to add moisture after dehydrating with heat. This is the last step prior to mudding the football. The key to creating the mud mix is hydrating the mud with leather conditioner until you get the desired consistency. The mud we use is actually sourced from New Jersey, and it's key to both darkening and increasing grip and tackiness of the football, as well as softening the leather. We apply a light coat of mud to all sides of the football and allow it to dry for 4 to 6 hours. Once the mud is dried, we head outside to this table which vacuums up all the extra dirt. We use a soft bristle brush to clean off the mud for about 20 to 30 minutes to get the football to as close as perfect as possible. After the mud is brushed off, it's time to finish cleaning the football. We like to make sure the logo and chip badges are clean. We then apply one more coat of leather conditioner to the entire football and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. Then, for the last step of the process, we apply a leather dressing. This helps protect the football from rain, sweat, snow, really any conditions the team may play in. We let this coat sit for about 24 hours, and then with one more brush up, this process is complete. And that's how you prep an NFL football for game day.
So did you know all that went into football?
You know what? It's not surprising, but I wonder if they put different conditioners on different footballs and try to cheat to have the.
Well, I asked Tom Brady
for the
football
stickiness.
Yeah, I was surprised they slopped mud and stuff on there like that.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's quite the process.
source from New Jersey. So
Yeah, the New York Jets.
So I wonder each team has a different process for their own balls, or
I don't know. I wonder if college does something like that too.
that would be interesting.
Yeah, how well will that hold up in the rain and stuff? Like when the Hawkeyes were playing in the snow and the rain the other night.
I don't know. That was a yeah.
It was funny. I heard several people getting free tickets, and I'm like, do you realize what the weather's going to be like when you're down there with your free tickets?
That was a
you got
heck
free
of
tickets.
That would have been heck of a game to be at, though. That went right down to pretty much the last play of the game.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't really follow that stuff. It was just we were out to eat, and it was on the TV. So,
well, I was watching the game. Yeah,
I'm sure you were.
That was heartbreaking. But, oh well.
You knew when they're that close, they're gonna make that field goal.
Right, but they had to move it along. But
yeah. I put this video up there for you. I thought this would be a good video for you. You don't even have to mow your yard. You just tie a string to a stick in the middle of your yard and let it go, and then come back in about 10 minutes. You're telling me you wouldn't give that a try?
Is he?
He's just driving around, screwing around, but the mower itself, every time it goes around, that rope gets a little shorter.
Right.
And it keeps pulling the mower closer and closer. He's trimming it and doing all this other mowing and stuff. And yeah, he's just standing there watching the mower do that.
I could do that in my backyard.
Yeah, you could. You have a pretty open backyard. Yeah, it works perfectly.
That would be cool. Were you telling me the guy had the self lawnmower that was it? Somebody sold it about 60 miles. It was sitting out. It was mowing out front, and somebody picked it up.
A self mowing.
Yeah,
like an auto mower.
Yeah.
Husqvarna said they've never had one stolen that they haven't got back because it has tracking on it.
Yes. Yeah. And it happened. I think it was over close to my house or something.
Have a good night, living the dream. Appreciate you tuning in. We usually do this Sunday nights now. We were doing it Saturday nights, but we switched it up Sunday night at 8. So tune in again. Thanks for stopping by.
But yeah, somebody swiped the mower and they ended up in Waterloo with it.
Yeah.
And the guy went up, knocked on their door. They said, "Oh, well, it was sitting out by the road, so we thought it was free."
Yeah.
And he just he took his mower back.
Yeah. Anybody knows that that's not free.
Right.
And those things aren't any good anyway. If you steal it, you're not going to be able to do anything with it anyway. It's just going to
really.
Yeah, it has to be all set up. It runs off of like trace wire, like invisible dog fence wire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they can't just put it in their yard and think that it's going to do something. I mean, it's not going to do anything.
Stupid people.
And you'd have to have the docking station to charge it because it only mows for a short period of time, comes back and docks and charges. So if you didn't have that part of it, it wouldn't do you any good either.
All right.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. Look at the size of those ice cream cones.
No way.
Yeah. My kids would be all over that when they were little.
Yeah, but I mean, can you imagine the mess? Because that'd just be falling off.
Yeah, it would melt before you could get it down far enough. I mean, there's no way. Depending on what it is, if it's like frozen yogurt or something, that stuff starts melting as soon as you get it in the bowl or on the cone. You couldn't keep up with it.
Oh, it's about 2 years ago. My daughter, she wanted an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
And it rolled through. We're at the drive up. I get the cone and I go to hand it to her, and she throws up in the front seat.
Oh, jeez.
Fortunately, I had the nice floor mats. Just took it out. Didn't get it over anything. Was clean, but yeah.
Do you eat the ice cream cone anyway?
I had the ice cream cone in my hand, so it was okay. But
oh man, that's gross.
Yeah. All right. Was that the final one?
I don't know. You're the video master. I sent you this stuff several days ago.
Okay. Well, let me see. This and that. Oh, nope, not the final one. Okay.
You must have the sound paused or something because all these had sound, but
this one there's no sound.
Yeah, so this actually works if you guys are looking at getting other plants started. So it'll grow roots off of there. It'll grow into the dirt. So that's a good way to propagate new plants and stuff. So I thought that was sort of cool if you want to take the time to do stuff like that.
Oh, I'll see. Cut the branch off, and then you
just leave it on there. It says 24 days later, where you keep that pocket moist with the dirt and stuff in it, and eventually it'll start throwing roots off into that bag. And then once you got enough root system developed, then you can snip the plant off and then cultivate your own plant. You can do that with a lot of plants.
Will that work with my beautiful apple tree on the corner of my house?
Probably. You want to grow some more apple trees?
No, I don't.
You could graft other trees to that.
You know what's it's so cool. I'm so glad that we have so many deer around my area.
Yeah.
Because I have no apples in the yard, and all the apples fell out of that tree. And the deer come up and they get it and they clean it all up. I remember as a little kid having to go out and pick up apples underneath the apple tree. That sucked.
Yeah, you had PTSD once you saw that tree.
Yeah, I was like, no. And then all the apples were gone, and I'm like, okay, I'm okay.
That's a treat, man. Those deers are loving that. So that's eating good. Think of all the other crap they eat compared to the apples, man. They're in heaven.
Yeah, and they stand in the front yard there too. They will not move when I come up. They're like, whatever, we're staying.
Yeah, you must not be that intimidating to them.
I don't think I am. Okay, so let me see. Is there anything else here? We didn't do Bon Appetit money. Okay. Here we go.
Bon appetit.
Y'all ready for this?
Sometimes I feel like throwing my hands up in the air. Hands up in the air.
Hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air.
See, I thought that looked amazing. I don't know what you think.
I think that looks really great. Yeah.
That's a lot of cheese, but I love cheese. I'm not lactose intolerant, so I'd be all over that.
Right. I'd eat that. That would be great.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. Somebody around here should do that.
Current politics with Sean and Kirk.
Man.
Yeah, talk Tim into doing that. That'd be a good one for him. It'd probably be like $25 or something.
That would be.
Prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
It is hard to think of a less American idea than that. Imagine taking a look at the employees of your local DMV and thinking to yourself, you know what? This is great. I'd love to put these people in charge of every single aspect of my life, no matter how insignificant it may be. I'd love to have government bureaucrats tell me when I'm allowed to go to the grocery store. I'd love to have them run the grocery store and tell me when I'm allowed to go and what I can buy there. Please, DMV lady, fix all my problems. I see you sitting there and I think to myself, you are the person who could solve all my problems. Please fix them. I put all of my trust in you. Has there ever been a serious person in the history of this country who has genuinely believed that the government could solve literally every problem, both big and small, as Mamdani just promised explicitly?
I had to put something in there about this guy. I mean, this is just insane. A self-proclaimed Democrat socialist. Like, really? That's what we've come to in this country? That's what they're electing?
Well, okay. So what do they call it when they clone, like they're cloning animals and meat and so on?
Cloning.
Yeah, okay.
They
Cloning.
call it cloning.
Okay. So do they have DNA in the Zohar machine, the fortune telling machine?
Oh, is that where he's from?
Does he look like Zohar?
I don't know. It looks like a nut job to me.
Zohar.
Yeah, telling you that everything in life can be fixed with government. I'm a small business owner. Everything the government touches is a mess. Every time I have an issue, it's usually with government.
He's going to have a little fortune cards that he's going to hand out.
Yeah. I don't want to see what his fortunes are. There's your next presidential candidate.
Right. Okay.
Except I don't think he can run.
Sorry, what?
I said I don't think he can run for office. I don't think he's a citizen. You can't run for president if you're.
Oh
not
yeah,
born.
he's foreign born. Yeah. So. Well, we can change that, right?
Well, you can change anything.
Yeah.
Question for you: are you flying private? Yeah. How often do you fly private?
All the time. I have my own plane.
You own a plane?
Yeah.
What did you do to be able to afford a plane?
I'm in the healthcare business.
And I'm going all over asking private jet owners how they became millionaires for the younger generation. Can we interview you for 1 minute real quick?
I mean, I don't really have a lot of time. I'm getting ready to fly to
Just
Medellin,
1 minute.
Colombia. We got time? All right, but let's do it on the plane. I got to run.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
What was the most amount of money you've made in a single year?
So I will tell you that in the last 3 or 4 years, I've probably added $85 million to my net worth.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What is the best advice that you ever received from a mentor?
So the guy that's coming on the plane with me today, this guy's super rich, right? Real money rich. One day I was picking him up for his private flight. This was years ago. He's like, hey, can we go to Panera Bread to get bagels and coffee? And I'm like, why? And he's like, well, because they want to charge me, $250 on the jet. And I'm like, dude, $250 is nothing for you. He's like, yeah, but you know what, Vic? That's not what it costs. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, a jet costs what a jet costs. $2,500 an hour for jet fuel, whatever. Bagels and coffee doesn't cost $275. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, man, because I'm like, no matter how wealthy this guy is, he's still thinking with the general principles of business and life.
Do you think everybody's built for entrepreneurship?
Hell no. Hell no.
Why not?
Hell no. Most people don't have the stomach for it, man.
You faced a lot of adversity?
Tremendous amount. The lowest point was in January 2015. I had $78 to my name. I took a screenshot of it, actually, and I told myself that one day when I have my own plane, I'm going to put that 78 on my tail, and I did.
So who was the most important person that you hired?
You're looking at him.
Actually.
Dude, at the end of the day, it all comes down to you. You can't be ultra successful without being a shark. And that's how you have to be in the business world. It's the most competitive sport out there.
So I like that talk about the bagel. Did that catch your attention at all?
Yeah.
So being in business, I saw this video this week right after steel jacked the prices up. And then I'm like, you know what? A chainsaw is a chainsaw at the end of the day. A bagel is a bagel at the end of the day. At what point is something not worth what somebody's willing to charge and you just get something that's cheaper? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think that's where we're at. He made a very good point. No matter how much money you have, doesn't mean that you want to spend it on something that you don't see the value in, even if you can afford it. So it's important to keep in mind, especially, when we're in businesses and we're trying to keep track of, how much we're spending, or, even if you don't have your own business, your personal finances and stuff, there's only so much money, but why would you pay somebody more for something than it's actually worth?
Right.
Just because they say it? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think it. I mean, so like there's situations where stuff's worth more. Obviously, it depends on the quality of the product. And so, I was watching a video just the other day on Kirkland's, and they have their own brands. And there's a couple of companies that actually put the who made it labels on there. One of them was like Reynolds Wrap. So like you'd buy restaurant foil at Kirkland's and you'd get a break. Of course, you'd have to buy the whole heavy roll. And Kirkland's actually put Reynolds Wrap on the name on their box. And then they had the smaller rolls of Reynolds Wrap right beside it. So they even just told you who made it. But I remember my friend, he made posters, and he put his posters in Walmart, and Walmart would negotiate prices on the posters. And so if you bought the posters from his website, you would get a heavier paper or better paper on the poster. And if you bought it from Walmart, the paper was lighter, and it would also deteriorate. The paper would deteriorate faster. Then the life cycle of the poster would be considerably less to meet the costs of what Walmart has on it. You look like ounces and stuff like that. But like what he's saying with the cost of what it is on the jet. And another scenario is that in Las Vegas, you can go to once. I'm not sure what hotel they were in, but you can, in the casino hotel, you can go to one bar and get a pay like, I don't know, is this like $17 for a Coke, and then you can go to another one and you end up paying $7 for a Coke, or you can go to the CVS store that's inside the casino and pay $3 for the Coke.
Well, yeah, that's just different businesses with pricing. But with his example of the bagel, there is no bagel out there that's worth $250. I don't care in what situation you're in. Unless you're starving, it's the only piece of food and you'll die if you don't eat it to that extreme. That bagel is never going to be worth $250 no matter what you did to it.
Well, same thing for a $17 Coke in the casino, and you can go to a different bar in the same casino and get it for considerably less, or go to the CVS store that's in the casino and get it for $3.
Yeah, and it's not, I wouldn't even say it's a point of convenience. It's a point of laziness. Like if people aren't willing to put any effort into getting a fair price for stuff, then they're going to get taken advantage of. At some point you just have to be like, I'm going to walk across the street because it's a better deal.
Right.
So, I mean, it's all about, at the end of the day with the money, it's about managing the money you have that God gave you and, being a good steward of that money, and buying the $3 Coke, if you can spend 5 more minutes, is a lot better than spending $17 because then you got an extra $14 to do something else with.
It is. So let's talk about what we've got going on with our other business here. And we'd like to encourage you. It'd be a great help to us. We're going to be launching another auction this week. You
got your logo to throw up there?
We've got, what happened here?
You deleted yourself. You're an invisible man now.
My camera actually went out.
There you go. You're back. Now you're not.
No, I wonder if what the heck?
Throw the logo up there if you got it.
Well, I'm going to be without camera here.
That's probably for the best.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know why it went out. Okay. See if I can. Anyways, we have our estate consignment auction, and we're going to be running this week. It's called atag.sell. And if you guys know HighBid, we're on HighBid. And then if let me see here. There we go. Yeah, so the website is just atag.sell instead of .com. It's .sale. If you go to HighBid, we're atag sale on HighBid. And we'll have deals. We're putting things up on there. We will ship a lot of the items. And so check it out. And we'd appreciate any support that you guys give on that too. That's gonna help us.
And if you guys spend enough money, Kirk will personally deliver it to your house.
All right, yeah, thanks.
Thanks. Kirk, not Sean, just Kirk.
Yeah. All right, let's see if I can get on. My camera's
So I'll probably run some saws in the auction too. I'll probably spend the wintertime restoring saws, and then I'll throw those up on that auction. So if you guys are interested in stuff like that, you can buy that stuff as well. So
yeah, we'll have some special stuff up there, and we're going to be running every week, and so we hope you'll check it out. But anyways, so anything else to share tonight, Sean?
no, I think we're good. Appreciate you guys tuning in like always. If you guys have any questions, comments, praises, slams, whatever you have, drop them in the chat, leave them in the comments after the show. If you guys are watching this in real time, not real time, live time, but after the fact, make sure you guys drop that stuff down there. We do watch the comment section and try to respond to your guys' questions as well. So, that's all I got for tonight.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.